guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be building a custom fixed base Portable bandsaw. So this is the old base that I made a long time ago. It's literally just a piece of C-channel, or I think this actually was box section that I cut with a slot cut in it right there, and a notch taken out right there. And it works pretty okay. I just clamp it in a vise and then I've got a bandsaw. But there's two big downsides with it. One, it is super duper floppy. And two, the clamping in a vise thing just doesn't work. So what we're going to do is build a bench mount with a piece of trailer receiver tubing. I'm going to weld that to this plate and then drill some holes, and then this is going to mount under the workbench right there next to the radio. Then all I gotta do is plug it in, put the put a pin through it, and then I've got a bandsaw sitting right here over the bench, nice and easy to use. So that's the plan. Let's see how it goes. As far as the actual base and table go, I have no real idea what I'm doing. Last time I took this piece and I cut it right here, that way I could change the blade without removing the bandsaw. And I still might do that, but I might also do the cut on the other side so I can keep the front piece nice and strong and have a little bit of an extra kind of box section to it. All TBD, at least for the moment. But I'm kind of leaning more towards doing this, but we'll see. And as far as for the table material, I have a decent amount of supply of some kind of thick gauge plate steel, so that's probably what we're going to use. But before we do that, let's get started on the mount. Sharpen your drill bits. And there we go. And yes, if you're wondering, it is off center, and that is 100% by design. Basically what I'm trying to do is be able to scooch it as far to the right, close to that post as I can. So yeah. And then I also marked and drilled these guys on the drill press. And yeah, these are 5/16. So I've got some 5/16 lag screws, and those are just going to go straight into the bottom of the workbench. So there we go, all mounted up. So now we can start working on the base for the saw. Okay, so here's what I'm using for the plate. I think this is 1/4 inch thick. Yep. So twice as thick as this. This probably isn't even 1/8 inch. I've got some slots marked out. This is where I'm going to cut for the blade, and then the screws for the mounting point are just a little bit over. I think it's about 3/4 inch. So I've kind of marked that and drew a dotted line. Now I'm also going to cheat because I've already made one, and what we're going to do is take this guy off. And I'm going to unbolt this from here and use that as a reference. If not, you can just kind of make some measurements and mark some stuff out yourself. Layout is important, and a lot of saws are different. Most of the things I've seen are kind of like pick up the handle, do weird stuff, but I've had pretty good luck with this, where it's literally just the plate. This is basically what mounts the. There's like a little plate shoe on here. I've just removed that and used the factory bolts and just made my own plate. It's just a lot bigger than an inch wide. This would be good this is excellent as a portable bandsaw, but I needed, I want to make it not so portable. So, oh, and also I guess this one has a little, it's like a little tapping plate that slides in there. You could also use this to mark your holes. But like I said, I'm going to use the already marked holes in my old base and go from there. Obviously we want it to be as perfect as we can, so I think I'm actually going to use that. Grab my auto punch. So I've got my auto punch, and I'm going to line this up. Well, the first one doesn't matter, so I'm going to just put that there. But the next one, I'm going to use the bracket to line up. This distance doesn't have to be critical. It's about 1 finger joint away. I'm going to cut there. So I'm going to drill those 2 holes and cut slots from, as deep as this. Maybe just a skosh more. As far as cutting the slots, I'll be using this guy. And as far as the holes, let's just go over to the drill press. So the other thing, these screws, they should hopefully fit through there. They are countersunk, and I don't actually know where my countersink bit is. So for now, what I'm going to do is take a big ass drill bit, and we are going to countersink with the big ass drill bit. It's just bigger than the head, so that should be good. And later, if I can find it, I'll clean it up with the countersink. Alright, bit is in. I also set a depth stop so I can't go any deeper than that. So hopefully these should be somewhat symmetrical. I'm going to need to go a lot deeper than that. All right. Take 2. Beautiful. That's actually really good. Alright, there we go. Now all we've got to do is figure out how to mount this to the mount on the workbench. And also, if you were wondering, I stopped halfway through, drilled a hole with the drill bit in the drill press right there, and then cut up to it to get a pretty nice edge. And I think that's pretty good eyeballing for getting that in the center. So I'll take it. So this is pretty much the idea. Got a piece of 2-inch square tubing in there. I've also drilled and tapped a 5/16 hole. That way I can put a screw in there to tighten it up. Got the plate attached to the bandsaw, and I've got the bandsaw attached to the piece of 2-inch. The only thing is that I do want this a decent amount higher. So what I think I'm going to do is pretty much cut this about here or so, maybe a little bit shorter. Cut another section of 2-inch, about maybe yay long, to act as a pedestal to raise this up. And then basically my goal is to get it about the same height as the workbench, maybe just a little bit higher. And then all I got to do from there is kind of just smooth off these corners. Definitely going to radius these guys, and just finish weld it. Alright, there we go. Got the corners rounded off, got everything welded together. Just mostly used some scrap that I had laying around, so actually I guess I should probably clean this. This was left over from my bumper. One big thing, I didn't weld the inside edges. I only just tacked that corner, and I tried to keep it just around these back ones. Main reason for that is warping and heat shrinking. So when you weld on one side of a piece of steel, it kind of melts it, gets hot, pushes itself out. Then when it cools, it shrinks and it causes a bow. So if I ran a weld right here and a weld right here, this corner would want to dip down, and this corner might dip down as well. So I want to keep that pretty flat. I think it may have a slight bow to it, but that's not the end of the world. Yeah, pretty happy with it. So now all I got to do is mount the saw, and we're good to go. And then probably make things like this for all of my other cutting and fancy implements. So like probably make something for the bead roller, probably make something for the chop saw, and who knows what else. So yeah, let's put the saw in and see how she works. Alright, that works really well. Table's nice and secure. It's at a good working height. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this guy. Alright, so that's going to be it for now. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.